Now let's look at different forms of equations of lines. So the most common form probably is what's called the slope-intercept form. The slope-intercept form of the equation line is simply y is equal to mx plus b, where m and b are simply numbers. The second most common form probably is what's called standard form. Standard form is ax plus by is equal to c. And the key here is that a, b, and c are all integers. And a third form is the point-slope form, and that's used in particular cases. That's y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. And this is used when you're writing an equation line given certain information, for example, 2 points or a point in line. So let's look at each of these in turn. First, let's look at the slope-intercept form of an equation of a line. Y equals mx plus b. Let's look at an example. Y is equal to 3/5 x minus 7. In this case, m is 3/5, and that's going to be the slope. And b is defined as minus 7. That's going to be the y value of the y-intercept. And another example you might be given is you might be given 2x minus 5y is equal to 15, and it'll say rewrite in slope-intercept form. Which that means is simply rearrange this so it looks like y is equal to mx plus b. So then you have 2x minus 5y is 15. You can first subtract the 2x and you get minus 5y is equal to minus 2x plus 15. Then you divide by the minus 5. And your final answer is y is equal to, it's a negative divided by negative is a positive, so that's 2/5 x. 15 divided by 5 is 3, positive divided by negative is negative. So that's how you rewrite a problem written in standard form into slope-intercept form. Another example of a problem you might be given is you might be given the problem in slope-intercept form or some other form, and you want to rewrite it in standard form. So let's talk about standard form. So it's ax plus by is equal to c. An example of that might be 3x minus 5y is equal to 12. The key is that a, b, and c are all integers. You do that by what's called clearing the fraction. So let's look at an example. Let's say you're given a problem. Y is equal to minus 3/7 x plus 2. And you want to rewrite in standard form. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get the x over here. So you plus 3/7 x plus 3/7 x. And you get 3/7 x plus y is equal to 2. Now what you want to do is you want to make all the coefficients into integers. So look at the denominator. If the denominator is 7, then you multiply through by 7 or 7 over 1. And when you do that, then the fractions will clear. So that becomes 21 over 7, or 3, plus 7y. 7 times 2 is 14. And that's how you go from slope-intercept form to standard form. Now, point-slope form is only used in special cases. So you never are asked to write it in point slope form, but you may be given it to you in point slope form. And here's the actual form, and here's an example. Let's say it's y minus 5 is equal to 2/3 x plus 4. Plus 6, let's say. No, let's say plus 4. That's good. Let's have a fraction there. So then you distribute, and you have y minus 5 is 2/3 x, and that's going to be plus 8/3. You want to move the 2/3 over here, so that's minus 2/3 x minus 2/3 x. Minus 2/3 x plus y minus 5 is equal to 8/3. You're going to add 5 to both sides, and you get minus 2/3 x plus y. You need to add your fractions here, so that's 8/3 plus 5, or 5/1. The common denominator is 3. So that's 8/3 plus 15/3, which is going to be 5/23/3. Now that's written in standard form, except for you have a denominator in some of the coefficients. So you want to look at the denominator, and you want to multiply a number so that all the denominators clear or cancel. So I'm going to multiply this by 3, or 3/1. I can do that as long as I multiply every single thing by 3. That's going to be minus 2x, right? Because 3 times minus 2/3 is minus 6/3, or minus 2. 3 times y is 3. 23/3 times 3 is 23. This is written in standard form. Sometimes standard form is such that the first term must be positive. You could do that by multiplying by a minus 3 rather than the 3, or you can just multiply everything by minus 1. So that's going to be 2x minus 3y is minus 23. And that's your final answer there. And that's how you, given one form of an equation, you write it in another form.